This is, I don't know, potentially embarrassing, but potentially really fucking cool. I didn't necessarily forget about this, but I put it out of my mind as something that like, oh, I don't need to think about that anymore. We can pretend it never happened. This is Zilla. This is the master copy. I did. It was made to be black and white, even though it's color here. It was made to be black and white, just photocopied, like a zine, just cheap. Throw it out there, whatever. From 2008 or 9, I think, when I was about 20, which is really kind of shameful, honestly. That I look back on it now and I'm just like, oh no, I drew that poorly when I was 20. So the cover isn't. It's a terror. That's the text is kind of cool. Naughty criminal comics with an anarchy circle A as the A with a shouty mouth. That was my really cool brand. The line is because I was going to have it that height because I think that's the height of a regular comic, but it's wide. I don't know. That's supposed to be a crushed car and like buildings and rubble and smoke, but it's just so terrible. Like it looks like an abstract painting with you can barely tell what's going on. If you open it up, you can see like a street scene, kind of lampposts, and this is a tail, like a rat tail. It's a bike, some shit. This whole thing, I mean, it's obvious enough, but like I was trying to be about 3 or 4 different artists at once, which was my main issue. It's not. I had issues with drawing and stuff. Naughty Criminal Comics presents the Ewans Zilla. Oh, brilliant. So it opens up. You can't. It's a mess. It's just a fucking mess. What the fuck? God damn it. Line weight. Contrast are 2 things I had no concept of. So this is supposed to be like a city street, end of the world bistro. Little gags thrown in there. It's like the end of the world, and all these people screaming, "Oh bum!" The guy who's holding up the sign. So there's a building exploding in the background that you can just about see. It was all done with marker pens and stuff, and like some ballpoint for hatching and some spray paint just to add fucking whatever. And this guy's like pulling his face off. There's people running, pushing other people out of the way. And at the end of the world bistro, this woman's just still sat down. I mean, and then on the TV, mass evacuation, streets still in chaos after 2 weeks. Super on the POW News Network. Next on, mouse in your house. There's like a fisheye lens of some mice in a room. I don't know. It started with a huge amount of people finding their bins ransacked. Then there were all the pets suddenly getting lost. So you've got the ransacked bins fallen over in the streets, and then like telephone poles with lost dog and cat posters put all over them. The orange was just because I had an orange marker and I knew that would come out grey, so that was my grey tone when I photocopy it black and white. That would be grey, so there's orange throughout. And then there's like a rib cage and it's all steaming and guts and stuff. Then the mysterious attack on livestock. So there's like dead. It's a cow's rib cage, and there's look a cow, sad cow with a big bite taken out of it. Ew. And this is supposed to be like fields, hills and fields with trees, and like a little cow laying on its side. And for a while afterwards, it was quiet until that's quite cool. That's quite a bit experimental. Like not great, obviously, but you can see. Just like you can kind of see. Maybe you can kind of see. It's like a city with a sun or something, or a moon, and then like the sky fading out. Just me doing this. And yeah, it's a whole story. It's not great. Oh, look, there's a young me saying "fuck you" to hipsters. There's some hipster on his phone, drinking his coffee outside a coffee shop. And then he takes a sip of his coffee, and then the coffee shop blows up, and that's the hipster getting blown to pieces, like Terminator 2 style, when the bomb hits. And there's like the guy in the background, the businessman walking along, and then running away with his briefcase and papers all exploding or whatever. And then I guess this is the same scene or a different scene. The building destroyed and all these craters in the ground. A smashed car, big hole and smoke. That's not too bad. And I quite like the abstract-ish buildings in the background, just building shapes with windows. Because that's always one thing that's bored me about regular comics. It's just the fucking boring square regular buildings and stuff. So I make them a bit fun at least. Now this page was actually cut and then reordered because I drew it as one. So this is ground level, building, crashed ambulance and cars and this monstrous foot, and then it scrolls up, or the camera pans up, which I don't know how obvious that is. And these are knees and a tummy and some nipples, and then it pans up further, and that's the tips of the buildings and the claws of the thing, and then the head of the beast with helicopters. So that was actually drawn with the head, shoulders, knees and toes, effectively. And then I cut it and reordered it so you read it down the page, but it's actually panning up. I don't know. I thought it was clever at the time, yeah. And this is the monster. It's a giant rat with an ear on its back, but like a Godzilla-sized mouse with an ear on its back. The scene. It's not well drawn, but you can just about see what's going on. So there's the giant rat thing in the city. Apparently I was using brown paint instead of the orange pen for whatever reason. And then this guy looking out a window like, oh, what the fuck? Out the window of a train, which you don't know until you see the train. So I should have reordered that a bit. And then the tail smashes down into the train and the train goes boosh. And then he's eating the fucking train. Overall, I'd really like to have another go at this to try and like do it now, as I make comics now, to try and make it good. And that's not even a terrible drawing. I like the shape of the head. Again, there's no fucking definition. There's not enough contrast. It's all marker pens, as I said. So it's all just like blobby and messy. You can't really see what's going on. The ear on its back could use some work, but... And then, so there's the light on in this building, these two people, and this guy's going, this is all my fault. And the other guy goes, oh yeah, how did that go again? And then you find this story. Well, as he's telling the story, what the fuck is this? Just... terribly drawn faces. Ooh. If there's any like 20-year-olds out there now thinking, oh, my drawings suck, oh, I'm no good, just now, I'm not the best artist ever. I'm almost the best artist ever. But I'm close. I'm getting there. I can draw. I can comfortably say now I can draw. Not perfect, but I can draw. Apparently 20-year-old Ewan couldn't fucking draw for shit. So don't worry. If you think you can't draw right now, you're probably still better than I was when I was 20. And I don't even have an excuse for it. It was just like... I think it was trying to be certain things instead of just doing what came naturally. I was too busy forcing myself into all these different corners at the same time. So it was a couple of months back before all this mess, obviously. I'd been working tirelessly for months since my wife died. I was so close to bringing her back. Our genetic work was at startling levels. You wouldn't believe what science is actually capable of nowadays. But anyway, it was late one night in the lab. There was a sudden blackout. You remember, the whole district was down. Our backup generators clearly hadn't been well taken care of. They weren't starting up. I fumbled around trying to turn them on. They choked a bit and then started going. But I don't know if it's because they were old or there was too much power at once. But one of them exploded through the wall straight into the lab. Because that's where you keep generators. You keep generators right next to the laboratory, separated by one wall that, if exploded through, would destroy the entire lab, wherein they're doing work that evidently is potentially resurrect the dead. Exploded through the wall straight into the lab, straight into the radiation chamber. That's where you keep your radiation chambers. That was bad, but after the cleanup, that was bad, brilliant. After the cleanup and the check of broken equipment, terribly worded. Again, I've never been a writer. Let's just get that out of the way. Someone noticed the mouse with the human ear growing from its back was missing. Oh my god, what happened to the mouse with the ear on its back? That was kept in the lab with the radiation chamber and the work in developing resurrection. And the rest speaks for itself. And this guy's supposed to be biting his lip like, oh. Let's spray paint for the grey tone there. Because I didn't have access to any actual, like, tone, like the tone sheets you can buy, the transfers and stuff. So I was using just grey, brown, orange paint that would come out grey. Spray paint to make dots. And now I have to stop this. He's at the door, Shadow. Oh, look at him. He's facing off against the giant rat mouse creature. And so this is all drawn and stuck together because then I was going to... I think I did do a couple of copies. I don't know where they are, but I photocopied it all and whatever. Blammo! The I don't know, fucking radioactive shout from the giant rat head blowing the buildings apart. Trying to do something, just trying to have a weird sort of style and throw in these shapes and stuff instead of actual shading. And this is all just a mess. You can barely see what's going on. Like, I'm trying with all like the glass of the broken windows and then lines and shit to show things. Clouds are really brilliantly drawn. Cloud, get the cloud out of the way. And then the terrible drawing of the guy looking up like, oh shit, what the fuck? Which is also, that's Gun Viking looking up at the fucking Mountain King like, oh fuck, innit? I just have one idea and I do that again and again. A military montage, which is not great, but you don't get the idea because you can hardly see what's happening. It's supposed to be the military like putting their guns together, like, but I had no actual information. This is all drawn out of my head from, like, I don't know, whatever films I'd seen. Putting on his helmet, tightening his belt. That's like from the back, his backpack and stuff. Bullets and tank. What the fuck? I couldn't draw for shit. This was supposed to be like neat, but I don't know. So another street scene. And then at the end of the street is the rat with the ear on its back. And then in the street is tanks and all the soldiers with bazookas and shit ready to go. And this guy, this big butch guy, can't get his cigarette lit. But you wouldn't know that because it just looks like he's about to light a cigarette. And then he does his big shout attack again. And all the soldiers get flung away. They all blow away back with the orange pen. And they're all scared and running. The tanks are blowing up or something. But then he's got his cigarette lit, so he's happy. So that's... Get a nice visual gag in there. Oh! I flicked through this really quickly, but I missed this page. I forgot I did that. Oh, wow. I put a bit of Hulk comic in, and I changed the text. It fits, though. It fits. Wait. Okay. So this, I should have some kind of header saying, meanwhile, in like the president or prime minister's office, sir, it just ate through a horde of animal rights people who were protesting to save it. That is, right before it destroyed all our forces. Oh my God. Oh, bloody hell. He's watching the Teletubbies. That's funny. Well, we tried blowing it up. We've done all we can. That's it. We're finished. Oh, he's wiping a tear from his eye, looking out the window pensively. if that's how you use that word. Unless he thinks to himself, get me the Hulk. What the fuck? So this was, I think, Hulk fighting Matt Murdock, Daredevil. Hulk, please try to understand. You can't go. You're in the wrong universe. Hulk angry, but Hulk must save the people. Hulk is only one strong enough. I see he's mad at him. Hulk, go! And he throws Matt Murdock away. Hulk, you pillock. Hulk turns around. He's not happy about that. He doesn't like being called pillock. Hulk is not pillock. Puny human is pillock. Hulk will smash. Oh, they have a moment. Catches his eye. Just let it go. You can't help those people. Oh, you can't help. Those people can't have Marvel characters. The legal fees for a crossover are just too high. It won't happen. And then Hulk's mad and he throws the brick against the wall. Smash. He's all upset that he can't help. Come on, Mr. Lee. Do the right thing. He's our only hope. So he's phoning Stan Lee in his office. No, it's my Hulk and I get to say who plays with it. Doomed. Stanley giving an evil laugh because he's not giving them the rights to use the Hulk. Even though I just used the Hulk. Weird. And then this guy getting his arm chopped off for no reason. That's not part of the story. It's just there. Guy driving angrily, driving a bus. He's gonna, I don't know, ram the giant thing. And then with a whip of its tail, he flings the bus away. And then a bunch of chavs run up to it. Get his wallet, do him over, have him. They're all punching and kicking its foot. And then it like does the whole like Godzilla's eye coming into frame. That's supposed to be its eye, but you can't really tell because there's just too many lines filling up the space. And then he's like, hey, what's that? His attention's been caught by something else. It's a cheese. It's a big cheese. He's on the giant cheese. I painted that on purpose because I thought it would look cool with the texture of the paint when it's photocopied in black and white. Yeah. I think that did actually work in that respect. So there's a giant cheese on the building, and he's on the giant cheese because he's a mouse, and he saw the cheese. Last year, and we'd like to thank Daniel Hurst for letting us buy his new sculpture, Massive Cheese. That's funny. Come on, this is good. So a big crowd outside the building. They've just bought the Massive Cheese sculpture. So that's last year. Then if I remake this, I'll have to do that in like black and white or sepia tone or something to show it's a flashback. And then back to today, is the rats chewing on the cheese, and then that's the Daniel Hurst, like Damien Hirst. Get it? He's going, oh, you bloody great arse! That's my cheese. Stop eating my cheese, you arse! Get off! And these terrible drawings of people. They look like they were drawn by a fucking 6-year-old. See, because you can draw shit like fucking, god damn it, like that. That's like drawn bad on purpose because it's just you kind of get it. They're not great. I'm not saying they're good, but they're drawn bad on purpose. But then that's just bad drawings. Fuck's sake. So that's I Love Hurst. He's got his own shirt on. So it takes a bite out of the cheese, and then the bus crashes down. Oh no. I thought this was really good when I first did it. All the different mark making and shit. The chain link fence has been broken into. And there's destruction, a trail of destruction. A cigarette butt. Damn it, Johnson, you better have some good news for me. Look at his angry, wibbly arms. Well, it just pulverised the soup kitchen and a lingerie shop. And it's gone, sir. Now it's gone, sir. Gone? Yes, that is. We can't see it anywhere. He's sucking on his hands. And he's sweating. This could be our chance to get a plan to fight it together. That should be a plan together to fight it. Thinking, Mr. President. And then I need sound effects or something to emphasise what's happening. So he's For some reason, he's got a boombox, a stereo that's playing music. I should have had musical notes, something happening. And then he's angry. If you don't turn off that bloody noise box, I'll have your children deported to China and shot. And he's angry, and the guys are all like, ooh. And he's all sad. But then he's like, wait a minute, that gives me a fucking idea. And me an idea. And Lego Man an idea. To be continued. Oh, giant speakers. And he's saying, haha, this will get you. That's the. I don't know why the president would be in front of the speakers. With no protective gear for his ears or anything. Evidently, they're going to try to fight the thing with sound. Oh, because it's got a giant fucking ear on it, of course. I was like, why would sound work? Because he's got a fucking ear on his back. Of course, that's genius. That's actually genius. Ah, yeah, so when evidently, obviously I'm going to remake this. I have to. There's so much potential here. I can't waste it. So I'll have to put some emphasis on the music being played, and then have like a little cutout panel or whatever, or an insert panel of his ear with a music note like bashing into it, and him going, "For fuck's sake, turn that shit off! My ears!" Wait a minute, ears? Next. Oh, and then this would be the next time. Again, terribly drawn. You can't make out what's going on. It's supposed to be. This is his wife that they're trying to bring back to life. But then this is her as a zombie. Oh no. Zombies. Because they're trying to bring her back to life. And there's also still the giant rat with the ear on its back. Special features, deleted scenes, concept art, etc. Just drawings of Zilla, the rat with the ear on its back. Oh, that's from the beginning where I cut it up. See, I drew it all as one thing. It looks better like this, but like, I don't know, in my head, like I said, the idea was, you know, the panels, you read a page top to bottom, so it makes sense to like pan up, because that's what it would do if it was a movie. Maybe if I drew it better. And if it was painted, if it was a fully painted comic. I think this should have been in there. This should have been just after he does that. He does the big shout. That should have been there. I don't know. But yeah, I don't hate this. It's not brilliant. You know, I couldn't draw really, so it's as good as it's going to be. Yeah, again, like anything else, I could do it better now. Obviously, thank God I could do it better now. Imagine if I was still that shit at drawing. And an ad. Give me your money and have real mice grafted onto your ears. The mice love it. It's got a smiley mouth pasted over it. See, mice with their ears on their back, but they're still your ears, but now they're grafted onto the mice. Holy smokes, with these mouse ears, I think I look even cooler than I actually am. Note, really, give me your money. All of it. And that was Zilla. Gee whiz. Amazing. Amazing. Man, 20-year-old Ewan was on something. And not, you know, I don't mean like drugs or whatever, but like on some good idea shit. Like Gun Viking, the mouse with the ear on its back. And there was so much going on in this. Like, I was trying to put in different styles and things with abstract buildings and grey tones, trying to put them in there, and having the Hulk comic. I'm going to have to redig that out and scan it in so I can use it in colour when I inevitably remake this. Oh, boy. And that was, I think this was purely to fill space. The entire point of the guy having his arm cut off was just like, well, this scene's over now, so what do I do with the rest of the page before I get onto that? See, Stanley, still Stanley. and then the painted bit as well as like the pen and ink. Slop shop. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of potential. I just, I was shit. Which is my life, really. A lot of potential, but ultimately a load of shit.